don't ride for nobody, no badge, no crew. Truth don't play favors, it just come through. I don't take sides, I take time and review. So to put it, let the context break through. If you clean, that stamp stay true.
They're like balling at him. I don't know what to do.
Watch that dog here. 3 of them. Back up, back up.
A sergeant is caught in a terrifying encounter as 3 dogs stand between first responders and the victim of their brutal attack. In the chaotic aftermath, the question becomes who the victim is and whether help came too late.
Welcome to In Plain Sight. We're going to be tackling a very, 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 very interesting story today. I won't give away too much. I'll let it unfold. But needless to say, the end result is quite sad. I'll give you that much. But let's continue.
They were guarding her. Oh my God, dude.
The following is based on official police records, and the footage has never been seen before until now. After 4 p.m. on November 21st, 2025, dispatchers in Tyler, Texas receive a panicked call to 911.
I showed up at my boyfriend's house to take the dogs out in the backyard, and I keep hearing the neighbor's dogs just screaming at the fence because our fence is kind of messed up. But now I'm looking through the hole, and they're literally, I think they're mauling at him. I think that's the neighbor. He's on the floor, and he's not talking back. I don't know if it's a girl or a guy, but my neighbor's a guy, so I'm guessing it's him, but they're like mauling at him. I don't know what to do.
As you can see, a very, very crazy, chaotic situation. I've only witnessed 1 dog biting in my life. And I was a kid, so of course you amplify the trauma by about 5 billion, and that's how you feel. I couldn't imagine what it would be like witnessing what she's describing and being unable to do it. First of all, I'm sorry to tell y'all, I'm not putting my hand between a person and a dog. I don't see much help. Now, if I had a pew-pew, I might more than likely do something, but it's more dangerous, I think, to include yourself in that situation.
I'm nervous, ma'am. I'm too scared to go over there. Oh my God. The hair is short. I'm guessing it's a man, but honestly, it looks like they have leggings on. I don't know. It's a woman.
Do you still hear the dogs?
They're like, I don't know, like whining sometimes, and then it gets silent, and then they're whining again.
All right. Well, do you hear your neighbor at all? Are they saying anything?
No, I mean, I yell on them, but oh my God, I'm praying. I don't know. I hope that what I saw wasn't what I saw. Maybe it's just a big old toy, a big human-sized toy. I don't know.
All right. Well, the deputies and ambulance should be headed there shortly. Okay, just call back on 911 if anything changes.
Okay, do you know how long?
I don't have an ETA. They weren't that far, so they're getting there as quickly as they can.
Okay.
A sergeant with the Smith County Sheriff's Office arrives just behind the local fire department, and together they rush toward the sounds of barking coming from the backyard.
I think he's dead, man. Right here. Watch that dog here. 3 of them.
Now, I agree with the first cop. Y'all might think I'm mean. I'm not mean. I have a dog. I love my dog. My dog is my boy. That's my boy. That's my dude. All right. My King is his name. That's my boy. But let King lose his mind and bite anybody. Unwarranted bite somebody. Yes, I'm putting him down. You don't have to ask me twice. I will tell you right unequivocally, poof, gone. Euthanize, say bye-bye. I'm not playing that game. I hope and pray he never has to have this happen to him. I don't think it will. But if he ever loses his mind, yes, I'm with the first cop. Shoot him.
Of them. Hey, shoot him.
But with the victim sprawled out beneath the dogs, firing his weapon is too much of a risk. Instead, the sergeant runs to a gate on the other side of the house and radios for backup.
22, what's your location? "22, where you at?"
Be there in about 2 minutes.
Knowing the victim may not have 2 minutes, he quickly decides to go in alone.
His indecision to shoot the dogs is twofold. I get it. You're not quite sure how to handle the situation. You could end up shooting the dog, and then it could be a liability lawsuit on you because you took care of something that you shouldn't have taken care of because the dogs really didn't do anything. But you're witnessing the dogs doing something. So what do you need to do and try to save the victim? He's in a little bit of a pickle. A pickle I'd have solved with a couple of freedom seats. But that's just me. I'd have just freedom seated my way out of it. But each of us handles it differently.
You copy it, nice traffic.
10-4.
Hey, left fire. No, I've got the gate open on the other side, but the dogs are mauling the body.
See, I would have popped if that was the case. But again.
Hey, where are they at? Where are your people?
They're on the fence.
Still the fence?
Yeah.
Back up, back up.
The dog charges the sergeant and he opens fire, striking him multiple times. When it fails to stop him, he fires once more, and the dog collapses against the pavement.
Huh? Okay, bionic dogs now. They roided out. I get the feral bloods in there. Okay.
The sergeant keeps his gun aimed at a second dog, who sniffs his fallen companion.
You need another unit.
Like, you really shot my homie, dog? You shot him? You shot my dude? You shot him? That's what he looked like his face is saying. But you notice he's not barking. You notice what he's not doing? He ain't charging. You know why that is? Like, y'all, look, dogs are smart, right? Dogs are not the dumbest things out there. Y'all know this for a fact. Dogs think really well. I think we underestimate animals' IQ. You walk over, first body, pop, 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 and he still comes, pow, put him down. Buddy comes around the corner. You did. Let's talk about this. Let's see if we can reason, you and I. We think things don't need to escalate, do they?
Dude, they were all eating on him.
I know, but if we can get to them,
We've got to get EMS care.
okay, get them there.
You see how quickly he just walks off?
That's 9 shots fired in the area of me. Hey, I've got an open door back here. They're good to pull him, yes. Back up. Don't do it.
All it took was one to go down. If you think people could learn the lesson the way dog learned that lesson? I wish people would learn that lesson too. Unfortunately, humans are a little bit dumber than dogs in some cases. One person will get taken care of, and then one, I'll take care, and then you get taken care of too. See, dogs are smarter.
I can't find the door.
You close the door so you can see.
I'm working on it. Door's closed, yeah.
With one dog dead and the other 2 secured inside the house, backup finally arrives and joins the fire department as they work to pull the victim through to the other side of the broken fence.
Don't pull the fence down. Don't pull it.
Okay.
There's still dogs.
Okay.
Cutting the board right here. There's nail cutting, catching her close. Yeah. Come on, I got it. Yeah. Oh, nail. All right.
You got
it.
We're out.
We're good.
The victim, who appears to be a young woman, shows no sign of consciousness. Her body is severely mauled, with deep, gaping wounds on her arms and legs. While paramedics get to work, the deputy joins the sergeant in the backyard.
So that door was open. There's 2 other dogs inside. That one came after me when I opened the gate. The other one came running up to him, but took off inside. Okay. I do not know if there was anybody else in the house. I have no idea.
Given the 911 caller assumed the victim was the male owner of the dogs, the sergeant quickly locates her with an urgent question.
Hey, does he live alone?
I don't know these cars. I see a gray car, a silver car show up, and it's a guy and a wife and like a kid.
Okay.
That's all I've ever seen.
Okay. Does he live alone?
The
guy here
Yes.
is the one that had all the dogs.
Him.
But that was a lady that lived there with a baby, and they got to fight over the dog before. Is it about a dog?
Yeah.
I know it is. I know.
About 3 dogs.
I know.
3 pit bulls.
This one owned the dog, and their main dog.
Well, I'm very aware.
Sorry, I don't know why that hit me. Like, I tell Corey this all the time. It ain't even what people say; it's how they say it. I'm very aware. Trust me, I know. The only thing he could have said different is like, "No shit, Sherlock. They're mean dogs, really." I wonder what gave that away. Maybe it's the mauling of the individual I just witnessed.
They were mean dogs.
I heard them fighting about.
They weren't fighting. They were attacking.
No,
somebody.
about a month ago.
Okay.
And the woman and the man having a confrontation.
Who owns the dogs over
Some
here?
lady has a baby that lives over.
Where's
I don't
she
know
at?
if they're home.
Do you know what she drives?
I don't know anybody.
Do you know what she drives? The cars you've seen?
No. It's scary, are they?
If Mind Your Business was a female, there it is. I don't know them. I don't want to know them. I observe, but I don't want nothing to do with. Nope, I don't know.
Did the baby did it?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
Fearing they may have just trapped the 2 remaining dogs inside with a helpless baby, the sergeant and deputy armed themselves with rifles and returned to the house.
All right. Well, let's go find the baby.
That's scary stuff.
Locked. Good? Yep. We're going to clear the house. There's a lady and a baby who's supposed to live here. Dog.
Unexpectedly, a voice calls out over the home security system.
Hey, we're the owners.
Okay.
We're out of the state right now.
Who's supposed to be taking care of your dogs?
Our babysitter.
Who's your babysitter?
Her name is Madison.
Okay, where's the baby?
She's with us. She is just taking care of our dogs while we were out of state.
Okay, so there's nobody here.
There's no one here at the moment now.
The sergeant instructs the couple to call the sheriff's office in the hopes they can confirm the victim's identity. In the meantime, he heads back to the neighbor's house to ease her concerns.
They're out of town. So them and the baby, everybody's out of town.
Oh, thank God. Thank Jesus. Good.
But the person they hired to come take care of the dogs got mauled.
Oh, that's
And we
awful.
were not able to get to her before.
I understand, honey. It's hard. But see, I knew them dogs have been fighting.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now, I had heard, my memory's a little bit foggy about the outcome of this. I'm hoping I get more clarification. If my remembrance of what happened, is true. All right.
But it wasn't a little bitty dog.
No, they were.
no.
None of them are little bitty. There's one less of them now because it charged after me.
They had to. Well, honey, I don't blame you.
Meanwhile, the other deputy speaks with the 911 caller, who grapples with the emotional aftershock.
I couldn't tell what I could see. I was just freaking out.
Yeah. No, that's understandable.
And I was like, I hope I'm wrong, but I still called either way. But
No,
I
you did good. You did the right thing.
couldn't keep looking if it was.
Yeah.
And I'm a nurse, so I feel bad because I could have, I don't know, maybe I could have done something.
couldn't have
but
done nothing.
I was too scared to call.
Calling us was the only thing that you could have done.
She couldn't have done diddly squat. She'd have been a second victim. 9 shots in one. Yeah.
Otherwise, that would have been bad for you. So,
Right, that's why I was scared. I was like, I can't go there.
yeah. So, yeah, calling us was the right thing.
Across the street, the sergeant learns more about the dog's history.
But I've heard dog fighting before. This ain't the first
And
time.
it's between this house and this house. And I wonder if they weren't going at each other. Do you happen to know what kind of dogs they have? Because all these are like pit bulls.
Oh, it's there, pit bulls. I knew I saw a pit bull out the drive one day.
Well,
then it's them. I'm so sorry, baby.
it happens.
Yeah.
The dog's owners, Wilbert and Addison, finally reach a deputy by phone, and the heartbreaking truth of the girl's identity is fully revealed.
Okay, where are you located at right now, sir?
I we're currently in Oklahoma. We're on our way back, though.
Okay. Who is supposed to be here to care for the animals?
Her name is Madison Hole. She's just supposed to like go over there every couple hours and just check on them, but we haven't been able to get in contact with her yet.
Madison Hole. She's supposed to take care of the dogs. Okay. About how old is she?
She's 23.
23.
Yeah, she went to college there, and she's going to college to be a teacher, so I'm not sure which college she goes to. Yeah, the dog broke out probably about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I texted her, and we haven't received a response, but I mean, I think she's in class.
The couple would later explain they met the college student, 23-year-old Madison Riley Hall, after posting an ad for a babysitter on Facebook. Madison had been babysitting their 3 children, all under the age of 5 years old, for the last 2 months.
Not long enough. Not long enough. Words of advice. If you know your dogs, and don't tell me you don't, never advise people to go see those dogs on their own. The dogs might be nice with you. You know, when people say, my dog don't bite, you know what I tell them? Yeah, you. Your dog don't bite you. I'm not you. Your dog might bite me. I am not staying alone with your dog. I don't care how big or how small. Unfortunately, Madison learned the hard way.
And they recently asked her to look after their 3 dogs while they were out of town. What the deputy doesn't reveal is that their description of Madison matches the victim, who is lying on the ground after a brutal attack carried out by the family's own beloved pets.
She alive?
They're trying right now. They got the machine pressing her, doing the compressions, and they're going to hit her with a couple epis. And
We haven't really evaluated her back. I mean, like right before y'all got here, we just got her drug out. And she was face down.
Dog guarding her, man. Say what?
They were guarding her.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
You think she had been back there for a while or something? Or?
I mean, not that old because she was still not. She wasn't cold and she was still able to maneuver. You know.
Oh, okay.
And everything that while we were working her, but they all 3 had her right here. And just.
Oh man. Pitbulls.
3.
Despite their best efforts, there's nothing the paramedics can do, as Madison's injuries are far too severe. She's pronounced deceased on the scene, and the sergeant calls in to his superiors with an update.
Well, there is 1 less alive dog, and also, unfortunately, 1 less alive dog sitter. I don't know. I'm not willing to sit in the house and talk over a ring cam over some dogs that just ate somebody. So
I agree with you. Or I'd go in and I'd spray before I do anything else. I'm emptying clips on them. If you want to talk to me over any cam or anything like that, and the dogs are in there, I'm killing your dogs first before I talk to you. I want you to be fully aware if I go in your house and your dogs just did that, I am ending all their lives before I talk to you. Point blank, period. So just call. If you want to save your dogs, call me. Call me on the phone and we'll talk outside.
pretty sure I broke my foot though. It's like I was running and hit a hole.
Wilbert and Addison later told investigators their 3 dogs, named Bodie, Lola, and Afghani, were not known to be aggressive.
Lying already? Lying already? Okay, I'll tell you something what I do know about dogs. And I'm not the dog expert, but I've had dogs. And so I'll tell you this much. You saying something like they're not known to be aggressive means they're known by somebody to be aggressive, including you. Yeah, that's a blatant lie.
Though Lola could be, quote, territorial.
See, they always give it away, always give it away.
Addison shared that Madison would often watch the dogs and children at the same time, and on several occasions they would come home to find one or more of the dogs cuddling with Madison on the couch.
Kids are there.
Now, it looks like, I'll be real, it looks like a man because the body's just so torn up.
Yeah, for more on. Break them for more. Yeah.
Investigators later visited Madison's mother in person, giving her the most devastating news a parent could receive. Her mother showed them a video Madison sent several days earlier, in which she spoke about the size of the dogs noting one of them weighed more than 100 pounds. In the video, Madison described the dog as, quote, defiant.
So I don't know why they did what they did.
I bet they did it over food, and she tried to break up the
Tried to
fight,
break up
and
the
then
fight.
they got it.
No, they saw you put the one down and they were like, oh, I don't want to. Oh boy, that.
Yeah, because the real big one backed off.
That
When we
one
went
was
inside.
the mean looking one.
According to police records, the last message Madison sent was to her boyfriend at 12:16 p.m., letting him know she was on her way to check on the dogs. The couple reviewed their home security cameras, noting that at 1:13 p.m., one of the dogs can be seen inside the home with blood on his side. Addison assumed that two of the dogs had gotten into a fight, but the truth was far more devastating. Unfortunately, the home cameras did not record anything that could clarify what happened. But given the timeline, investigators assumed the attack began roughly 3 hours before the 911 call.
Damn. I think that's one of my biggest fears, to get mauled by a dog. Besides drowning. To know that you're getting ripped up for even as a half hour by 3 big ass dogs.
Yeah, when I talked to the neighbor girl that actually called 911, she never heard like her calling for help or anything like that. She just heard the dogs go there
Fighting over each other. Or fights each other over her, yeah.
Is maybe she was attacked and she was laying there, and every time she tried to get up, they would probably guard her. They would, so she just stayed there laying there slowly.
Scared.
According to police records, the sergeant received treatment at the hospital for a minor injury to his foot. As for the remaining dogs, they were later seized and euthanized. Following a joint review by a Smith County Sheriff's Office investigator and the assistant district attorney, authorities determined that the dogs' owners had not violated any criminal statutes because they did not act with criminal negligence. The case was closed. Madison's mom created a GoFundMe to cover burial expenses, raising over $19,000. In the fundraiser, she shared that Madison was 6 months away from earning her bachelor's degree in early childhood education from the University of Tyler, adding that her daughter, quote, loved life with her whole heart and moved through the world with a free spirit that lifted those around her.
Condolences to the family of Madison. I don't know how you could not take witness statements of prior issues and not realize that you had 3 volatile dogs on your hands and that you knew that they were volatile. You knew they were territorial, your own words, and that not be held in some fine something. Okay, you don't send them to jail. Have them pay for the funeral. This is nonsense on a whole different level. I love me some animals. I got a dog and a cat. But I don't love them more than humans. You mess with a human, you get to go bye-bye. At least they did put the dogs down. That's at least some comfort to know that they won't be harming anybody else in the future. Anyway, whatever your thoughts are on this one, please leave them in the comment section below. We look forward to having an interaction with you about this topic.
One wrong move turn the present into the past. I don't ride for nobody, no badge, no crew. Truth don't play favors, it just come through. I don't take sides, I take time and review, so to put it, let the context break through. If you clean, that stamp stay true. If you foul, that show up too. No miss, no spin, no cover up hype. Everything judge in plain sight.